Good morning, friends. I wanted to start us with a sample production of how to put together a radio theater project today. So I've sent you 3 clips that should be on your desktop. 2 of them are movie files. One of them is me reading the Lance Blackman lines. The other one is Miss Bowman reading the Samantha Archer lines. And the third one is an MP3 file. It's the background music called Dances and Dames. I thought I would walk you through the beginning of how to put those projects together, and once you get past the second or third clip, I think you'll be fine. The first thing we want to do is open iMovie, correct? So we click it, or double click it, or whatever works for you, and boom, it pops up. I want to maximize it so it fills the whole screen, so I'm going to click this little arrow right up here in the top right hand corner. The first thing I want to do is I want to go to File, and I want to create a new project. So click on File, then click on New Project. And let's call this one Lance, just because. I want to go back up to that same File menu, and this time I want to create a new event, because I want to make a new place to put my raw footage. I want it to be all by itself. If you can see down here in the bottom left, new event 3/19/2012. Since the name of the project is Lance, I'm going to call the name of the event Lance. So I've got them both. Now what do I want to do? I want to import that video. File, Import, then go to Movies. And it will give you lots of different places to choose from. Since these are on your desktop, you will want to click on Desktop. Ooh, it's over here. Click on Desktop. You'll see the 2 movie files. Click on this guy, and then Shift-click on the next one. So you've highlighted the 2 movie files. We want to add them to the existing event called Lance, which is cool. Then click Import. And it will suck both of those video files into iMovie from your desktop. I'm wondering if this is me talking, and yeah, that's Miss Bowman talking, because you can see her eyebrow up in the top right corner of the screen. So the first thing I want to do is cut off my first dialogue line and stick it in there. So let's see what we can find. I do better when I just click the whole track, bring it up there, trim stuff off. You may do it differently. If you do, that's perfectly fine. Notice we're at the end of the track. It's 4:13. My slider here is set for a ½ second. You don't need it that small. I would go with 2 seconds. We know that this bit before the canyon, bit of this silence right here, I'm going to go to the beginning. I'm going to click and hold. Whoops. I'm going to click and hold. Drag it to right before the line starts, delete it, and let's hear the first line.
Night in the city by the bay. It had been a long month with no new cases to speak of. Things were tight, and I knew the landlord would soon come knocking for the rent payment on the offices of Lance Blackman, Private Eye. I was just about to grab my hat and hit the streets when I saw her silhouette against the frosted glass of the office door that bears my name. As she came into the room, she used a lace handkerchief to wipe away the tear in her eye, but that didn't hide the fact that she was one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen. A hint of French perfume drifted my way as she came towards me, so I knew there was money in this case, if nothing else.
All right, that's the first line of dialogue. I'm going to go to the end of it. Control-click, split clip. Let's cut off this silence here before. I think this is I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Ooh, I knew what I was talking about. Control-click. You want to split off and delete all the junk you don't need. Get your lines as tightly as you can without actually cutting off the beginning or the end.
I'm listening.
We can pause it right after that. Then get rid of all the junk right before this one. Notice all I'm doing is splitting off the silence in between the tracks. These are just the Lance lines now.
And you want to know if he's having an affair.
Cut it. Control-click, I mean. Split it. And ba-boom. There it is. So we have our first, we have our first few lines by Lance. We've got the big long one, 37 seconds. Then we have 1.4 seconds. Then we have 3 seconds. Then we have 3 minutes and 23 seconds of stuff we have to split off. But That's okay. I just want to show you how to get it started. So now let's take our lines from Miss Bowman, bring them up there, drop them off. How long is this beastie? 6 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm going to take my slider down to 2 seconds again. Why am I doing that? Because then you can see where her lines are. Or my lines, or whoever you're looking at. So let's go down to the end, shall we? And we know it's her when we see the eyebrows. I talk a lot through the beginning. Let's check this thing out and see where I stop talking and where she starts. So this is her. Take that down to 2 seconds. And check it out. Alright, I found her dialogue. Here it is. This is Mr. Blackman, I need your help, her first line. So I want to control-click right before it. Split. Take all the stuff before it. Get rid of it. Where did it put us? Here's the beginning. This should be Mr. Blackman, I need your help.
Mr. Blackman, I need your help.
Spacebar. Control-click. Split it. Split off the junk before here. Control-click. Split it. Ba-boom. Delete. Ah, there we are. Here's her second line.
It's my husband. He's been acting strange recently and spending a lot of time away from home. He seems cold and distant.
So we have the first 3 lines by Lance, and then we have the first 2 lines by Archer, Samantha Archer. Let's start to put these guys in order. Here's our first opening big line from Lance.
I'd ever seen. A hint of French perfume drifted my way as she came towards me, so I knew there was money in this case, if nothing else.
So I know the first line from Samantha.
Mr. Blackman,
Yup.
I need your help.
Needs to be the second line in the piece. So click, click, grab it, move it down. You'll tell where it's going to go by where that green line is. I want to drop it so that we see that green line. Aha! That's going to drop it after the first shot. So drop it, put the green line after your opening dialogue, let go, and then you should hear this.
The sun was setting on that hot August night in the city by the bay. It had been a long month with no new cases.
Okay, let's fast forward to the end of that line, shall we? Yes, we shall.
So I knew there was money in this case, if nothing else.
And here she comes.
Mr. Blackman, I need your help.
I'm listening.
So you've got the first 3 lines of this thing. Now for the fun part. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. But there's something I need to show you how to do first. And that's how to get the music track into your project. The easiest way is to click this little arrow thingy thing. Grab your MP3 right from your desktop and drop it. Do not drop it in the green. Drop it on top. And your music will start. I like to push it back to the very beginning of the project because I'm weird that way. And let's hear what we have now.
The sun was setting on that hot August night in the city by the bay. It had been a long month with no new cases to speak of. Things were tight, and I knew the landlord would soon come knocking for the rent payment on the offices of Lance Blackman, Private Eye.
Okay, let's fast forward.
Drifted my way as she came towards me, so I knew there was money in this case, if nothing else.
Mr. Blackman, I need your help.
I'm listening.
So you get the point. You'll want to repeat this. I want to see just how much of this sample thing you can get done before you record your own narrative and have it in the computer. So we'll talk tomorrow about what your due dates are, but this is where I'd like you to start today. Scan in the 2 video pieces, the one of me talking and the one of Miss Bowman talking. Cut them up into bits and just go back and forth between my line, her line, my line, her line, my line, her line, my line, her line, following your script that you have in your notebook, and stick that background music in, and I'll check it when I come back tomorrow. Thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye.